If, like me, you are intimately familiar with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, then chances are you're more than aware of the various challenges people make, using the entire roster's abilities to see whether or not they can conquer certain tasks of varying difficulty. The Temple Jump, going on to Final Destination, going around Smashville, the list goes on and on. But all of these tests are worthless. They are practically useless when it comes to determining which characters you should be picking in order to survive the volatile and ever-changing meta that the game offers. Luckily, because I happen to be very smart and ahead of the curve, I have devised the perfect challenge to determine an actually useful test for the Smash Ultimate roster. Introducing the ItsTheMattC Logo Challenge. The rules for this challenge are straightforward. The character in question starts on the left side, and need to use their abilities and moveset to be able to get past the giant logo to get to the right side. They can achieve this in any way that their moveset allows, or even use the middle part if they can fit inside, just as long as they don't hit the lava that lines each letter. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Well, remember when I said it was straightforward? The rules for this challenge are straightforward. See? I did say that. That was just to make sure you were paying attention. Anyway, as many wise philosophers have said, not all fighters in this game are created equal. So naturally, some characters in this game are going to struggle at this challenge more than others. But that's the whole point, isn't it? We need to weed out those that are not worthy for the meta of Smash Ultimate and find out who is worthy. Be sure to smash that like button and be sure to subscribe as well. Now without further ado, let's get into the action. Mario is the face of gaming, the Jumpman that pulled the entire gaming industry up by its bootstraps to spur it into the lofty heights of today. So surely someone with that level of prestige must be able to... Wait. Mario is the face of gaming, Mr. Video Game himself, the Jumpman of the arcade classics. Therefore, he's got every last bit of clout he needs to... Okay, Mario, come on. I'm trying to build you up. I'm trying to hype you up here. Work with me, okay? Mario is Mr. Video Game himself, Jumpman of the arcade classics, polar-upperer of the gaming industry's bootstraps or whatever. And that means he should be... Okay, you know what, Mario? You're not cut out for this challenge. Just stop. What about Donkey Kong, the guy whose family gave Mario that start that led to the iconic chain of events in 1985? Honestly, it kind of boggles the mind that Mario and Donkey Kong make it to roughly the same point in this challenge, despite Mario being a human and Donkey Kong being like a 450-pound ape. Oh, right. This is a challenge that involves Link clearing a large obstacle. Well, we could be here a while. And with that, Link proves that any obstacle can be overcome by blowing yourself up enough times. Don't try that at home for the record. Does Samus have what it takes? No. What if I use these things? Will that make any difference? Credit where it's due, Yoshi does make it somewhat further in this challenge than I would have anticipated. Look, Kirby, I don't care how much Sakurai brand plot armor you possess. You can't even clear the first part. It's just not happening. Oh, I'm sorry. You genuinely thought that he was going to help you? You think you could just waltz into these sorts of challenges expecting to be allowed to leech off of other people's hard work and success like a goddamn parasite to get credit that you don't deserve? Well, I've got news for you, you little pink bastitch. This is the real world, and if you want that challenge success that you're seeking, you work for it with your own prowess like everyone else instead of expecting to get your hand held. Fox would probably stand a much better chance at clearing this challenge if he wasn't weighed down by the sins, sweat, and bad body odor of the Melee player base. Doesn't really matter how tricky you get with this thing, Pikachu still doesn't make it. No wonder the Pokemon series has been declining in quality. Look, Luigi, how to say this delicately. If your much more successful brother couldn't do it, I don't know what chance you stand. You seriously think I'm going to stoop to a Luigi wins by doing absolutely nothing skit? People, do you think I have the sense of humor of a 3-year-old or something? To the surprise of no one, when tasked to do anything other than spam PK Fire, Ness immediately folds like a piece of laundry. Show us your moves, Falcon! Okay, those were his moves. If this was a horizontal obstacle challenge, Jigglypuff would easily clear this. But it's not, so she doesn't. Shield Break doesn't do much either. I tried. Granted, it's a less than 1% chance, but if she pulls that Bob-omb, she can damage boost her way into a position where she can get over this thing. So, good for her, I guess. Alright, it's Daisy's turn, and... Oh. I see. Look, folks, I think we might be dealing with something beyond our comprehension here, so, let's just say she passed and move on before she smites us or something. I'm not entirely sure what Bowser's supposed to achieve here. Alright, Ice Climbers, if you make it across, then you'll be relevant outside of Smash again. Let's see how Sheik gets over all of this. Oh, right. Yeah, of course, the ninja teleportation thing. I guess that makes sense. And that probably means that Zelda can just, yep, should have seen that coming. Alright, Doc, let's see what you've got. Oh, would you look at that? He made it. Good job. The overrated version of you couldn't do this challenge, Pichu. What makes you think you can do any better? Falco may not be weighed down as much by the same sins as Fox, but ultimately their attempts at this challenge just end the same. Yeah, right. Maybe before traveling through time, you should have come up with techniques of your own instead of just leeching off of Marth, you lazy heathen. Young Link does require the same kind of prep as regular Link, but a different approach is needed. And he actually came pretty close. Alright, Dorf, give it your all. Okay, makes it over the first part. And over the second part too! Ganondorf has finally conquered one of these giant obstacle challenges. It's a miracle! I find it hilarious that Mewtwo, by all accounts, should be able to clear this challenge, but that goddamn tail of his betrays him once again. You are never clearing this, Roy. And Little Mac with a sword, I mean Chrom, doesn't fare much better. Maybe if Game & Watch actually did some leg day, he'd probably get enough jump height to clear this. Brawl Meta Knight could probably clear this without even breaking a sweat. It's honestly amazing to me that an angel like Pit, with the ability to literally fly wherever he wants to go, still can't clear the first part of this thing. Oh, nice try, you cheap, edgy knockoff. Unfortunately, your idea of being clever is cheating. Into the lava with you. Try flip kicking your way out of this hell, loser. Wario can actually get pretty far in this once he has that waft on deck. A bit of a tricky approach is needed, but he does manage to get that first part down nicely. The second part, though, can be trickier, but with just the right timing and positioning, and another waft, he can just about ride the lava to victory. So, good job, Wario. Alright, Snake, time to make this challenge jump. Going for the tried and true C4 Infinite. Oh, and he fails. Okay, but come on now. We all know that Snake can do this one. He can practically do this sort of thing with his eyes closed. We like Ike? Not in this challenge, we don't. Squirtle's wall jumping shenanigans can never match the height of this logo, but that's about it. Ivysaur's just not built for these sorts of challenges. Although, interestingly, Charizard doesn't seem to do much better. Diddy manages to at least beat Donkey Kong's progress, for what it's worth. I'm telling you, if Lucas and Ness can be convinced to go to Spammers Anonymous, they might actually have the wherewithal to clear this thing. Sonic's going to need to pull out his spring shenanigans to clear this one. Alright, makes it into the middle. And just about makes it. Good job, Sonic. At least DDD and Meta Knight can take comfort in the fact that they don't have to cheat in these sorts of challenges in order to win. They have nothing to hide and nothing to be ashamed of. With the power of throwing away all of his troops, Olimar has the mobility to get over this obstacle. Even if it takes 2 parts for the trip to work, he handily makes it. Huh. Should have expected that, to be honest. No amount of aura in the world can actually make Lucario clear this somehow. Let's be real here, Rob would never fail this challenge. His aerial stalling ability is just that good. Too easy. Just like the other Links, Tink here needs to blow himself up multiple times in order to make progress here. And he does do decently, he just can't quite make it. Wolf majored in being a high tier, which means he didn't take good recovery classes, so no way does he make it anywhere. Villager's balloons are practically made for challenges like these. He needs to space them across 2 trips, but that's okay. He easily makes it. Funnily enough, the first part of this logo is actually the hardest part for Mega Man to clear. But once he makes it into the middle and starts using Rush over and over on the sea, it suddenly turns into a complete joke. Look at that. Easy. Being trim and slim doesn't allow this trainer to clear this obstacle. Oh, come on, that surely has to be cheating, right? Right? Alright, Mac, get to work on this one. And he makes it. Good job, Lil Mac. Greninja can be pretty tricky, but he doesn't quite clear the first part. God won't help you here, Flanders. Dante cannot escape this Mii costume hell. Sans might be able to make it over, if not for the fact that he's just a lazy fuck. Seeing Palutena fail this challenge gives me life. In fact, let's replay the moment again. Pac-Man actually can make it through this challenge, but he needs to get a little bit creative in order to do so. So, fun fact, I thought he'd failed the challenge at this point until I learned that Side B just goes up walls while deploying. Even lava walls. If it weren't for that, Pac-Man would just barely not make it. Maybe go read up the tome of Why Did I Participate in This Challenge? Even though the Monado arts are built-in cheat codes, they still cannot help Shulk in this challenge. As always, characters like Bowser Jr. feel the need to blow themselves up to see success in a challenge like this. But I mean, hey, it works. He got further than his dad at any rate. Out of context, hearing that someone succeeded in a challenge like this by blowing themselves up is pretty morbid. You don't hear about stuff like that in, say, the Olympics. More like sure you can't. More like sure you can't, that does not have the same impact twice in a row. Limits, no limits, it doesn't matter. Cloud can't get over this thing. Corrin's just way too slow to capitalize on the ability to pin stuff. Bayonetta admittedly does brilliantly in the vertical aspect of this challenge. Horizontally, though? No. She falls harder than her previous voice actress's career in that regard. Excuse me, I ordered my fried squid extra crispy. Thank you. You know, Ridley, why don't you literally just fly over this fucking thing? Why doesn't anyone who can fly just do that? No Belmonts allowed. Did you not get the memo, Richter? I said no Belmonts. Yes, I did want K. Rool to succeed, because as a K. Rool main, I'm biased like that. But even if he cleared the first part, he was just gonna get annihilated by the lava in the middle part anyway. Such is the price you pay for being so thick. Villagers succeeded, and Isabelle essentially has villagers up B, so you know what that means. Yep, that was always going to be easy for her. Huh. Incineroar doesn't want to do it. I mean, I doubt he'd make it anyway, but I'd have thought he'd at least try. Plant Gang's going to need to cope hard with this one. No amount of Arsene tomfoolery will make you clear this one, Joker. You know what irritates me? I put that ceiling in so that Hero couldn't just cheat by using Zoom. And yet, it still helps him clear this thing anyway. At least he has to be forced to use 2 certain spells just to make it. You know, we should probably get some counseling in for some of these characters because they seem far too willing to blow themselves up, hurt themselves, or mutilate their body parts just to beat some random-ass challenge in a backwater section of the internet. You're not okay to clear this challenge. Byleth can chain up bees on the wall to get the vertical aspect of this down, but that's about it. I'm irritated. I wanted this to be a challenge Steve can't clear, but this thing's just irrelevant to him. As long as he has blocks, he can just invalidate this entire obstacle. Or pretty much any obstacle like this, for that matter. I mean, yeah, he has to cut this bridge off halfway, but he still makes it with minimal effort. It's annoying. Steve really is the 1% in this game. It's no wonder he got banned. You may be wondering why Winged Sephiroth is going first, and that's because of something I discovered when I thought I had the script finalized. So, being the superior version of Corrin, he makes it no problem. I thought he'd need the 1 winged form to succeed, but it turns out he can just make it without it as long as he gets just the right pathing. Shows what I know, huh? Nuh-uh. You aren't making it. And don't think that switching to Karen form will make things easier. Oh, don't get it twisted. I'd absolutely agree with banning Kazuya if he could clear this. But he doesn't, so the Kazuya mains can breathe easy. For now, at least. Imagine that. All the waiting and clamoring people did for Sora, just for him to fall into the masses of those who failed this challenge. Was it worth it? And with that, we have determined who should truly thrive in the meta of Smash Ultimate from here on out. That should be a handy and factual guide to help you determine who you should be picking up in your next Smash Ultimate tournament run. And seeing as how you're inevitably going to solo those tournaments with the likes of Duck Hunt, Villager, and Dr. Mario, all I have to say when you do is, you're welcome. Hey guys, now that we're at the end of the video, I want to say thank you to watching this to the very end. And in case it wasn't obvious, this was an April Fool's skit. It's not really something I tend to do, so I was a little bit excited getting this together. And I hope you enjoyed this parody as much as I have. So thank you for watching, throw us a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and I'll see you on whatever I do next. And what I do next will hopefully not be an April Fool's joke. Either way, take care now.